What is up, everybody? It is Rob here, and I'm coming at you with the Monday nightly watch list. It is December, the new month, right? Today is Monday, and we're actually going to get a full trading week this week because last week, right, Thursday was Thanksgiving, so the markets were closed, and then the markets actually closed at 1 p.m. on Friday. So it was a short week last week, and now we're coming back into it. Everyone's getting back on the grind for a little bit before the end of the month, before Christmas, and before things start to slow down. But let's get in the watch list and let's talk about what happened today. So the markets actually did close down, right? The Dow Jones was down around 1%, and the S&P 500 and NASDAQ were both down around 0.5%. So Rob, what caused the move today? Well, stocks slipped as traders moved out of risk assets. We might ask me, well, what caused people to go risk off today? Well, it has been crypto. Crypto has actually been leading the market down, and it's been like that for some time recently. I mean, even with the most recent, stock market sell-off that we recently saw, crypto was actually going down before it. So crypto has kind of been leading this whole time. And today we saw nearly $1 billion in liquidations in the crypto markets, and bond yields rose. Now, part of that can be attributed to the Bank of Japan's, efforts in raising rates, which caused global rates to go up. But mainly, right, people, came back after that short week. You saw some profit taken and crypto selling off. So that's what caused the move today. But, right, you don't have to, be too cautious because, right, seasonality does favor us here. And what do I mean by that? Well, in December, right, we usually get our Santa rally, which is where the market runs up going into Christmas because there's a lot of consumer spending, like we just saw right recently, right? We had Black Friday after Thanksgiving, and then today, right, Cyber Monday. So everyone's spending money. So towards the end of the month, when you kind of see some of these numbers coming out, all the consumers spending money, you kind of get this Santa rally coming into the year end. So, right, keep your eye out for that, right? Do not forget about the Santa rally and how you can get a bunch of optimism coming into year end and that you can see the market really run up. So that is what's going on with the market, right? People are coming back from that holiday. So, right, we're going to start getting in the flow of things, right? Today wasn't, some big headlines that really moved the market, but there was some small stuff. So now I told you about the macro view. Let's get into the micro view, right? Let's talk about the individual headlines and individual names today. Well, first, right, Trump. He actually said that he made his choice to lead the Federal Reserve. So we will be getting an announcement soon on the next Federal Reserve chairman. So Trump was on the Air Force One, and he said that potentially this week he is going to reveal who the next Federal Reserve chairman is. Now, this is going to be crazy because I've been in the markets investing since 2017, right? And after that whole time, I've just been watching Federal Reserve Chairman, right, Jerome Powell in the markets. So this will really be historic to see the new Federal Reserve Chairman and everything that he's going to have to go through, right? So, this decision is a real big one. So we are going to see soon who the next chairman is. Next to halfway here is MicroStrategy, ticker symbol MSTR. They were down again today. Pre-market over 10 or pre-market down 5%, but during trading today, their stock was actually down over 12%. I saw intraday. And MicroStrategy has just been getting absolutely killed. I just told you today that there's nearly $1 billion of liquidations in the crypto market. Well, right, if you've been following the market recently, and crypto has just been continuously selling off. Now, MicroStrategy has been getting hit really hard with it because it's a leveraged Bitcoin play, right? What they do is they sell common stock, right? Their shares to go out and buy Bitcoin. Well, that creates leverage because, as the price of Bitcoin comes down, well, it lowers the value of the company and they have to issue more shares to buy more Bitcoin. So, right, as the price of Bitcoin goes up, well, it really, impacts their stock on the upside. But when Bitcoin goes down, right, you see some big moves. And if you pull up a chart on MSTR, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about and how they be getting killed as a lot of investors are fearful where if the price of Bitcoin goes below their average price, that MicroStrategy will, for lack of better words, be screwed. So we'll have to see how that plays out, where Bitcoin heads from here, and all that dilemma. But right now, MicroStrategy is extremely bearish, been selling off like crazy. Our next headline I have for you here, NVIDIA. Now if you don't know it, they have a portfolio of investments and they take some of their capital and invest it in companies. Now their most recent investment was $2 billion in Synopsys stock at around $414 a share. So if you're not familiar with that company, look into it, right? NVIDIA is a big name. We all know, right? The AI bubble, right? AI investments. Well, when they put capital into a company, you'll see that stock at first strike go boom, go up, and then from there we'll have to see how it plays out. So if you see a pullback, right, but follow this, okay? Synopsys, SYNOPSYS stock, okay? So follow this, right, with the new NVIDIA headline. Next thing I have for you, right, Google. Google has been on an absolute tear. They've been killing it with AI news that they're putting out. Berkshire Hathaway invested in them. But today we got a headline that said Google is rolling out Gemini 3 AI mode in Google search across nearly 120 countries and territories in English. And it is also expanding, right? They have a tool called Nano Banana Pro, which creates images. And I was actually messing around with it today, and it's pretty crazy what it can do. But they're going to release that to more countries beginning today for Google AI Pro and Ultra subscribers. So, right, watch Google. You've been seeing them run up like crazy, and now we're getting even more bullish headlines coming out of Google, right? Pumping the name, moving it up all around AI. So keep your eyes out on that. And then the next thing I have for you here, right? Amazon. They have been making, big moves in the grocery game. And if you don't know this, they acquired Whole Foods a while ago. And the headline we got today was Amazon is launching, right, a US-based ultra-fast delivery for groceries and staples, where essentially you can get groceries and staples in 30 minutes delivered to you. Now, this is a push that Amazon keeps doing into groceries. So, big news out of Amazon today. And then Instagram or Meta, right? Well, Meta owns Instagram, right? It's one of the sub companies, but Instagram chief, right, orders most of its US staff back to the office 5 days a week in 2026. And what we've been seeing recently is with a lot of corporations is they're making their workers come back into the office and work less remotely. So now we see another big corporation doing that. Instagram making their staff come back to office 5 days a week starting in 2026. And right, I was just telling you all this bearish stuff about Bitcoin, right? You've been seeing the price of Bitcoin go down, crypto getting killed. But today, right, we did see, hope or a glimmer of good news. And that was that Kalshi, the predictions market site, they actually launched tokenized event contracts on the Solana network. So watch Solana, right? Maybe it makes a big move off of that. But right, this is a bullish headline, right, for crypto. We're seeing a big market like Kalshi, tokenizing events on the blockchain. So, if anything this year has showed is you're getting a lot of adoption of cryptocurrencies and you're seeing a lot more, uses of it. People actually having real world applications. So, guys, that's all the headlines I have for you today on what moved the market. But to sum it up for you real quick, right? The markets were down today, right? People got fear. Crypto's been selling off. Some of that risk off in crypto is leading into the stock market. And recently, right, we've been seeing, right, Bitcoin and crypto lead the market. So keep your eyes on it, right? So if you see a big move in crypto up, watch the market and vice versa, right? So guys, that is everything I have for you. It's the first of the month, right? Stay locked in. Oh my God, I almost forgot, right? I've been talking so much about kind of the trading headlines, but the long-term portfolio, guys, right? We just got our most recent deposit in the long term, okay? And it's bittersweet moment, right? We love getting the long-term deposit. The first of the month is awesome for us because we get new capital, right, to deploy or hold on to. But, right, a couple watch lists ago, I was just telling you guys, I have never seen so much opportunity in my life at one time, right, of potential long-term investment picks. And guess what happened? All of them went away. They all rocketed up. I mean, I'm talking Chipotle, Whirlpool, Constellation Brands, Nike. I mean, all of these names, Humana, they were all at lows. Novo Nordisk was at a 52-week low just days before our long-term deposit. And then what you saw was, right, this market rotation where a lot of money started to flood into these value names out of tech, and it killed our entries. So all the names that I wanted to watch have literally seen, a 5 to 10% move up in the past couple trading days. So I'm not going to be buying any of those names right now. I'm not going to buy where in the past couple trading days you've seen over 10% moves on these names. So we're going to hold the cash, okay? And we're going to wait. We're going to be patient for something to come. We're going to watch all these names, 5 to 6 names, and we're going to see what comes to us. But don't be greedy, right? Don't worry about hoarding cash. Every time you get a long-term deposit, you don't have to deploy the capital instantly. I mean, this year, we haven't really been hoarding cash because I've been seeing so many deals that I really want to get into. But, it doesn't hurt to actually have, a percentage of your portfolio sitting in cash. I mean, I don't ever recommend people going above, right, 10% cash on their portfolio. I mean, after, you're above 10%, I think, you could be deploying some of that capital. But anywhere from, 0 to 10% of your portfolio value in cash, I mean, that's fine. So we're going to sit in cash for a little bit, and we're going to wait for an opportunity to present itself to us, because it will happen. It happens every single time. So being patient is going to be the best thing here. And when I do have that long-term pick, you guys will be the first to know about it. The portfolio has been killing it this year. The long-term is doing great. All of the ads have been fantastic. And now we're waiting. But we got the new long-term deposit. It's the first of the month. I love it. I love it. But guys, that's all the news I have for you. All right, get locked in. All right, we're coming back in from that holiday break. All right, it is December, and towards the end of the month, we will get that kind of slowdown, just like we saw with Thanksgiving. But for right now, we can see some big moves. And watch out for that big, big Christmas rally, or Santa rally as they call it, and potential, right, for the market to go absolutely crazy heading into the end of the year. So guys, that is everything I have for you for real this time. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next watch list. Peace.